Welcome everybody to Above Average podcast number 2. We're excited to be back. We're here. We're excited. All right, this podcast is going to be all about Miss Nancy. So she's no longer a host. I'm the main host. You are a guest officially. Yep. So we're just going to get to know Nancy today. We appreciate all of you coming and listening to the first podcast. The turnout was great. It was we loved it.
We got so a lot of good feedback. We're really excited to continue this and, share our stories with you all and, provide maybe a little bit of entertainment.
Hopefully a little bit. Smidgen.
I feel like we have some kind of personality. I would hope so.
Hopefully. Or else why are we doing this?
Right.
Okay. All right, so first I just want to start with, we talked a little bit about your background and who you are in the first episode. Where were you born? Let's start there.
Where was I born? Long story, this is about me. I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. Family was there, aunt, mom, that's where everyone was. Mm-hmm. So I lived in Georgia going into 6th grade. So my parents had divorced before my mom's job relocated her to Bowling Green, Kentucky, where she was working for Fruit of the Loom. And so the headquarters was located in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And very small town, didn't even know that city existed. Mm-hmm. But moved to Bowling Green, Kentucky, going into my 6th grade year, and I can explicitly remember when I was in Georgia, I was like, oh, thank God, I'm done with elementary school. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go to middle school, because in Georgia, it is 6th through 8th grade.
Yep.
Tell me why. We moved to Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And 6th grade is still in elementary school.
What? I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Ever. 5th grade, done. 6th grade, middle school.
That's what I thought too. So I was so excited to be going to
a different school.
Middle school.
Yeah.
But although, granted, that would have been tough, and I'll get to that, going into a new school with no friends, you're there by yourself. But still, moving
take the height out of it. Yeah. Just a new school in general.
But even still, moving is not easy, especially when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Better yet, a tall kid. And so I and my younger brother and older brother, we had to, make new friends. So with all that being said, I was in elementary school yet one more year when I moved to Bowling Green. And then my mom met my stepdad. So I lived in Bowling Green for maybe 3 years. And my mom met my stepdad, who was living in Texas, and she remarried.
Yeah, shout out Big Al.
Yeah, let's go Big Al, Dolores. Woo woo.
We love you.
Yeah, we love you. You guys are so sweet. Thank you for everything you do. But I moved to Texas going into high school.
Yeah.
So that was a struggle in itself.
Yeah. Because your high school was it wasn't that big, but it was big.
No, it was huge.
Yeah.
My graduating class was 1,100.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so.
That's bigger than my entire school. My entire school growing up was 400.
I know. In our first podcast, I asked you what your graduating class was. So, just imagine being, in middle school, I was 6'7" in 7th grade.
Dang.
So just imagine going into high school, 6'7", 6'8", somewhere around that height. Mm-hmm. No friends. You got to start on
puberty,
your own.
all those hormones.
Yeah. Very tough, but I made it, and I actually met two of my best friends. We still keep in contact to this day.
I didn't go to your high school.
Oh, you didn't.
You have other friends other than me?
Chill out.
How dare you?
No, so I was playing volleyball and basketball. Mm-hmm. And
multi-sport queen.
Yeah, always supporting, gotta, use different muscles and different things. So, I actually met the two girls that I ended up playing high school basketball with, AAU basketball with, and college basketball with.
Oh, wow.
So, like, we were, like, 3 peas in a pod.
Mm-hmm.
But they were very welcoming to me,
Mm-hmm.
which made it easier, in a sense, going into high school, but it was still tough.
Yeah.
But...
So what was your high school experience outside of sports, outside of everything? Completely just height-based.
It was... high school, it wasn't as bad as what, like, my middle school, or
Your middle
like,
school
I
was
remember,
worse.
and I explicitly remember this, moving to Bowling Green. There was this kid. He was bullying me for being taller.
Yep, you'll have that.
Yeah, and I remember, obviously this is a vulnerable moment, I remember going home crying to my mom, telling her that I wanted to kill myself.
Yep, just from the bullying.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so... it's amazing how mean kids are at that age, but honestly, like, it doesn't, I want to say it gets better, but it doesn't. Like,
you learn how to deal with it, and you learn how other people's brain works.
Yeah.
That they are insecure with themselves, and that's they're projecting to other people.
Exactly. And so I struggled, I would say, more when I was supposed to be going into middle school.
Yeah.
But I always stood out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
I just learned, I would say, like, I wasn't confident until just recently, if I'm being completely honest with you.
I don't think anybody ever is fully confident in their body. There's always going to be something that you're going to nitpick, but you can learn how to embrace it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so that's what I've currently been doing, is embracing my height, being an advocate for other young girls.
There's little Nancy's running around that are going through the same thing as you.
Not little Nancy's.
Little Nancy's.
I love it. But yeah, so long story short, born and raised in Atlanta, but I say I'm from Cypress, Texas.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, so high school. As some of you may know, Nancy was on a little show called TLC.
My Giant
Life.
Yeah.
I want you to explain to me why you decided to do it and how it affected your high school, like, friendships, where people, like, fake with you because you were, like, quote unquote famous from being on TV. How did it integrate into your high school life?
Well, it was really funny how it all, like, transpired. I remember my high school coach calling me into her office. I will say, if somebody has anxiety, you have to preface with,
is it good or is it bad?
Exactly.
Yes.
So she called me into her office. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, going through everything, like, what did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong? Like, did I not text somebody back? Like, just going through all possible scenarios. Long story short, she showed me an email on her computer, basically like, this guy had reached out to her, inquiring about me and being tall and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, you can do what you want with it, but I just wanted to let you know, like, I got this email.
This is an opportunity for you.
Yeah. Because she didn't even know if it was legit or not. Well, we didn't even know if it was legit or not. And so that night I went home to my mom and I said, Mom, my high school coach, Coach Flores, like, she told me about this. Like, I don't even remember how I got the email, or maybe there was a phone number on it. But we called the number, and it was, like, the weirdest thing ever.
Do you know how they, like, found out
They
who
said
you
they
were?
just Googled tall females.
Really?
Yeah, tall females.
And how were you on Google at that point?
With basketball.
Oh,
being an elite athlete, obviously being tall, but that's how they found me. I was the youngest and I was the tallest.
Yeah.
And this was when I was a junior and senior in high school, because I did 2 seasons. But I went home, told my mom about the opportunity. We called the number or whatever, and they're like, okay, like, we just need to get on a Skype and kind of just do, like, an interview thing.
Okay.
It was, like, the weirdest thing ever, but they just wanted to get a feel for how, like, my mom and I would, like, our personalities in front of the camera. Because some people just, like, can't be in front of a camera.
And they don't act themselves.
And so, obviously, it was weird at first because it's like you're having to, like, in a sense, role play this situation. They're like, okay.
So, for the show, did the cameras follow you around? Did they have you do bits? Like, was it like, did you have a script, or how did it go?
Honestly, I really thought the cameras would just follow me around, like, my daily life. But they had to have, like, certain things set up. So, like, the first season was prom dress shopping. Of course, they had to, like, make an appointment, or we had to make an appointment to do that and whatever. But it is legit. We went to prom with the short dude. My friend Shay.
We all want to know. Was it a real relationship?
No.
No?
No. We were just, like, really good friends.
Was it for the show?
No.
No?
Like, we were legit really good friends.
You would have gone even without the show?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and me and Shay and I, like, we were really close. Like, I played high school basketball with his sister, so it was a good experience.
If you look back at it now, would you do it again?
I get that question a lot. I say the only reason why I would do the TV show again is to inspire the younger
others.
girls, because there were
same reason we do this podcast.
Yeah, I had received so many messages from younger girls that
were makes
like,
my heart flutter.
I'm not as tall as you, but I can definitely relate to such and such. I can't find pants, and I'm like, girl, it doesn't
follow
get
up
better.
to the follow up. Would you let your daughter do it?
Oh, God.
She does not have a daughter.
Yeah,
One day, if you have a daughter, just to preface, would you let your daughter do it?
I would say yeah, for the experience.
For the experience?
Yeah.
I think there's definitely good things and bad things to it.
Yeah. But you're putting your life out there for the world to see.
And for people to judge.
Everybody has an opinion.
But it's helping other women. I would get that. I would, yeah.
Like,
no, I understand
definitely a vulnerable position. You're making yourself vulnerable. So, but yeah, it was a good experience.
Yeah. Steering away from the TLC show, was there an age or a specific date or time when you realized I'm tall? Like, I'm tall.
I was always tall. Like, in elementary school, when we had to line up for lunch, they're like, haha, shortest to tallest. And I'm like, you were always the last one in the lunch line.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were, like, gradually grew taller? It wasn't, like, just a growth spurt?
I can't remember ever, like, having a growth spurt or a growth spurt where I'm like, ow, my bones hurt.
Yeah.
Because I know my younger brother did. He shot up like a weed. It was crazy because I was always taller than him. And then, like, sophomore year of high school, homeboy, I'm looking up to him.
Yeah, how tall is he now?
7'3".
How tall is your other brother?
7 foot. So my younger brother's 7'3", older brother's 7 foot.
Wow.
Mind y'all, and y'all are probably wondering, my mom is 6'7".
Yes, parents.
Yeah,
how tall are your parents?
Mom is 6'7", dad 5'10".
Wow.
So got the height from mom's
genetics
side.
hit you like a brick.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dolores.
Yeah, thanks. I'll try and keep it in the fam.
You have to marry a tall guy then.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Okay, moving on from high school. When did you commit to your first college?
I committed to Oklahoma. I'm trying to remember how official visits work. The fall of 2015, because I graduated in 16. So yeah, I committed to Oklahoma. Went there for a year. Ended up deciding that was not the best.
What made you decide that you didn't want to be in Oklahoma?
I loved Oklahoma. I loved Norman. I made so many friends outside of basketball. But ultimately it came down just the basketball aspect just wasn't the right fit. And so I remember telling my mom that I will be transferring. We're Catholic, so we come from a background of, like, commitment. You stick it out. And so when I told my mom that I was, like, transferring, I put my foot down and told her I was transferring. This lady, she claims that it's not true. but I like explicitly remember FaceTiming her on Cinco de Mayo and just trying to like get on her good side after the fact I said I had entered the transfer portal.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, because her thing was,
you just want the best for your kids.
Yeah, her thing is like, one, we come from a background of commitment. Two, she wanted me to give it another year. Yeah. And I was like, absolutely not. I can't do that. Mm-hmm. And so this lady, when I told her that my name was in the transfer portal, she did not talk to me for a week.
Dolores.
Can you believe that? Knowing her, like knowing her, you wouldn't think that.
She just wanted the best for her kid.
Well, yeah, and she said it's not always greener on the other side, which is totally true.
Yeah,
but I was like,
there's pros and cons to everywhere you go. There's no perfect school for anyone.
Yeah, no. And so I said,
that grass is dead.
That grass was like brown. And
it's long gone.
It couldn't get any deader than that. Yeah. So
So where'd you go? Where'd you transfer to? Why did you transfer there? Thought process behind that.
I ended up transferring to Rice University, which is in Houston. Mm-hmm. So everybody said that I had transferred to Rice to be closer to home. I mean, yeah, that was a perk, but it wasn't the sole reason. Mm-hmm. But obviously, I knew I wanted to work in the medical field outside of basketball. Yep. Because my college coach, her thing is finding something that you're passionate about outside of basketball.
That's a huge thing.
It is, and it's rare that you ever come across that.
Identity outside of sports.
Yeah, and so I was interested in the medical field, and so thank goodness Houston has the Med Center, which is like the best, one of the best in the world. Mm-hmm. And so that was also a deciding factor. And so while I was competing, playing college sports, being a full-time student, I was working at Texas Children's Hospital.
Girl, when did you sleep? Never. So I was definitely finding my interest outside of basketball, and I'm thankful for my coach for that, because not very many coaches give you that opportunity. Yeah. So Oklahoma, Rice, what's next?
With my COVID year that I got back, I went to the University of Washington. Yep. And so I got a master's degree there. I was only there for 1 year, which obviously that was my last year of eligibility. And so after that, my body just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, didn't want to go pro. Yeah, nothing like that.
So I respect those that want to go pro. But I decided to seek out graduate assistant positions.
Mm-hmm. That's how you ended up at Texas A&M.
With women's basketball. And so my coach and Joni Taylor are really good friends, and so we connected that way. But also, like, Joni was an assistant coach for Andy Landers at Georgia, who coached my aunt in the 80s.
Oh, so all these connections, all these links.
So Andy Landers, he was recruiting me when I was in AAU, but Joni was an assistant coach on staff for him.
Gotcha.
So like, there's like
everybody
so many
knew each other.
Yeah,
and it's not like anybody in the basketball world knew who you were.
Yeah,
like people knew who you were, and then you went and you found your spot. Now you get to go and you coach.
Yeah.
Do you think you will coach long term, or do you want to coach? Continue collegiate coaching, coach high school, AAU?
It would definitely be college, even though the NIL, even though NIL is changing everything, college athletics is what I'm probably meant to do outside of working in the medical field. So, I mean, I'm going to ride out my passion for basketball as long as I can. Yep. See how long that goes.
Stay connected to the sport.
And go from there.
Okay, we're going to change directions a little bit. So, you're such an inspiration for a lot of tall women. Like, you are the tallest as they come. Can't get much taller than you. Mm-hmm. You are it. What is
girl.
You are that girl. What's some advice you would give to, let's say, a younger you or any younger tall women?
That's a good question. Simply because it's taken me 27 years to even be comfortable in my skin. I think
there's no right answer.
Yeah. I think having an amazing support system behind you is essential.
Reach out to other tall women.
That too, yeah. The fact, with us starting Grander Modeling,
it connected us with other tall girls.
Yeah. Like, even outside of GM. Like, we've connected with other tall
and people
girls.
reach out to us now, and it's, you need to find your people.
Yeah.
Finding your people is everything. Some of my friends will say that they don't even notice how tall I am anymore, that I'm just Eve to them.
Yeah, I've gotten that too.
Find those people.
Yep.
But, like, they'll be like, why are people staring at you? And I have to remind my friends that I'm like, girl, I'm 6'6".
Yeah.
Like, I'm an enigma.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
people stare, and they're like, I totally forgot. Find your people.
Yeah.
Find people that support you, who love you no matter what, love you outside. You know that whole trend that, would you love me if I was a worm? I'd love you if you were a worm.
I haven't heard that trend.
If you were a worm, I'd still love you. That's what I'm saying. Like, find your people.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. You have to find your people.
Oh, worm. Okay.
Yeah. Looking ahead to the future, what are you excited about as a tall woman? Where do you see tall woman community going?
That is a great question. I think just like building that support system and having all of us come together. Like, my hope is to have other tall females on our podcast.
Yes, and hear their stories.
Yeah, because obviously, like, yeah, we can relate to their stories, but I think
everyone has their own individual story.
Yeah.
I think tall women are going to rule the world.
Yeah.
Because we just keep getting taller.
Yeah.
Girls are getting taller and taller. Like, I don't know. I talked to my mom. My mom's like 5'10", 5'11". And her day when she was in high school, she was just like me. She was the tallest one there was. And now we're even taller. And next thing we know, we're going to have 8-foot women running around. And I'm going to love it. No, I'm just kidding.
BFG.
Yeah, BFG. Yeah, I'm excited for that. What advice would you give for body confidence for tall women?
Body confidence, that's tough. I've struggled with my body, not even just like height wise. Like, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have like body dysmorphia or anything like that.
Yep.
So I'm still like trying to figure that out. But I think like it all just falls back on like a support system, having people there for you.
Tell your friends they look pretty.
It has to be genuine though.
It is.
Yeah, but like, I don't need you telling me like just randomly you're pretty.
I mean, like, you look good today.
Oh, thank you. You do too.
Thanks, babe. See, like that. That helps with confidence, whether you think it does or not.
Right. But I just want to be an outlet to younger girls, whether it's height-related, body positivity, empowerment, inspiring. Yeah.
Okay, we're getting into the nitty-gritty. Everybody wants to know, what's your favorite food?
Mexican, hands down.
Mexican, hands down?
If I had to eat one thing for the rest of my life, it'd be Mexican food.
Really?
Yep, I'm a Tex-Mex girl.
What kind of music do you listen to?
Oh, God. I'm a Sabrina Carpenter girly, Tate McRae.
It girl type vibes.
Lauren, Spencer Smith, Ariana Grande. But then also like Trey songs.
Okay.
Usher.
Okay. Usher.
If I'm going like country.
Throwback.
Yeah, if I'm going like
she does
country
too.
Like, I got this all the time. Or even when I was younger. My biological dad, like my real dad, he actually like, he passed away of a heart attack in like 2000, around 2010 or 11, somewhere around there.
Yep.
But my dad got compliments of like, you're Travis Tritt.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's where your hotness comes from.
Thanks. So with that, I love Travis Tritt, Faith Hill, Martina McBride, George Strait.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Movies. What do you watch movies wise?
I'm not a big movie gal, but.
Attention span or just don't have the time?
Yeah, attention span.
Gotcha.
That's why I do good with shows.
TV shows? What are your favorite TV shows?
Anything that is like crime related, which I know is
red
book.
She's a crime head.
Yeah, so crime, thriller, psychological.
Gotcha. Do you like horror movies, stuff like that?
I used to when I was younger, but I remember I went over for a sleepover, and I don't know if you've seen Candyman.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I don't do horror movies.
That movie scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, I don't do horror movies since then.
Yeah, no.
No.
Or if I do, like, I have to be watching it with somebody.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite color?
Orange.
Orange. Okay. Favorite animal?
Giraffe.
Giraffe. Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's basic. I like it though.
Thanks.
Any pets?
I do. My boy, Sunny Boy.
Sunny Boy, handsome little bit. He needs to come on the podcast.
I know. Him's a good
Sunny
boy.
will come on. We'll have a dog episode. Chloe and, spoiler alert, my dog's name is Chloe.
Yeah.
Chloe and Sunny will come on the podcast. They are best friends.
They actually get along, and I'm surprised. Granted, like, Chloe is a female, but Sunny does not do well with other dogs. He does not. And so when Eve came down, like, a month or two ago, she brought her dog, and I was like, oh, God.
They're going to kill each other.
Yeah, I have
They
no
were
idea how
besties.
it's going to go.
They
but Sunny,
were besties.
he ran upstairs waiting for Eve to come out of the bedroom with Chloe. Like, it was the cutest thing.
They love each other.
Yeah.
They're the best.
So they get along.
All right, so that was Get to Know Nancy. If you have any other questions, I tried to ask her all the questions that people ask me about her. If you have anything else that you want to know about Nancy, DM us, let us know.
Yep.
And we'll try to ask him the best we can. But that's your girl, Nancy. That's her to a T. I promise there's a lot more to her than we can fit in this short little podcast. But you guys wanted to get to know her. You got to know her. So thanks for listening. We love you guys. Make sure you come back for the next podcast. Leave us feedback. But we love you guys. See you next time.
We'll see ya. Bye.